So thank you very much for your time today.
Can you take a couple of
Yeah.
So you got this data, this is Trump data.
Most of it was Trump data. We use primary voting history as well. If somebody had voted in the Republican primary, not voted in the Democratic primary, and we were able to get that from the state board of elections, yes. But the Trump data, where that really came,
So even if this was Trump data, you ran this as an ILGOP program, it was specific to ILGOP, correct?
it was yeah, that is correct. Yes.
Okay, so did you share your information, your data, did you share it down to county and township levels or candidate levels so they could double down on it, do a door down with it, or anything like that?
Yeah, so the universe that we were targeting, it still is. It's in data center. It was accessible the whole time. I believe there were a couple of emails sent out about that, but as soon as the universe was created for the program, it was put in data center, so anybody could use that. And then when it comes to sharing data, the other thing that we were doing to try to empower the county chairman was we were uploading every day everybody who had voted by mail and voted early, so then the county chairman and local campaigns to not contact anybody who had already voted. So that was two things that we were doing to share data and try to.
Do you know how much it was used by county, township, or candidates? Do you know how many of them accessed it?
I don't. I mean, we can maybe find that out from RNC data, but I don't have access to that type of data.
Okay, then the other thing is, if you're not done doing an analysis, then maybe I'd be interested in knowing the down ballot effect of the people that you were able to turn out. Was there a down ballot effect? Did it track that if they voted for Trump, they voted down ballot for the Republican? Can you, I mean, your data
Yeah.
modeling or what?
The way that we could do that would be comparing, precinct results, because since it, we
Yeah,
live
that's
in.
exactly what I'm asking. Can you do the precinct results?
Yeah, there'll be.
Can you find out what the down ballot effect is? Because I think that would be very important.
Yes. The caveat is there will be some variation just because it is on a precinct level, but yes, we can get as close as we can, and I will make that as part of the analysis. Absolutely. Yes. Just going down.
This is really impressive. I mean, you guys did an amazing job. I
Thank
think
you.
you deserve a round of applause.
Thank you.
This is exactly, I think, what we need. We're limited in resources, and you stretch that out that I've never seen. So that is just amazing.
Thank you.
A couple of questions I think just related to how it all went.
Yeah.
I get the sense that we have this, we targeted 1 million voters,
Yeah.
right? And ultimately we turned out about a quarter of them.
Yeah.
And how did we, ultimately, how did we do with them? Can we track how we actually did? They all showed up and they all voted our way.
Yes.
Right? I mean, is that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't, because again, secret ballot, but yes, when we were taking into effect, like, who we were targeting, when it came to model Republicans, we did it. So modeling, the easy way to think about it is, you've got 0 to 100, right? 100 means they'll vote Republican 100% of the time. Most of the time, when people are modeling Republicans, they'll go, believe it or not, all the way down to 70. For this program, we went to 90, so we wanted to be, very sure. And then on top of that, when we were getting information from, like, the Trump campaign, for example, again, we would only go after individuals who had taken an action to show that they were going to vote Republican or vote Trump. So, yeah, we did not want to take any chances or very much limit the scope of who we were targeting and ensuring that if we were going to turn this individual out, they're going to be voting Republican.
Yeah, and just following up on that, so a little under $400,000, right, or a little over $350.
Yeah, a little under 350, a little under 350, yes.
What prevents us from trying to apply this in the consolidated or the governor's? I mean, I just get Aaron to write us a check for the $400,000, and away we go, right? And it came to more than a match. More than a match. I mean, seriously, but in seriousness, certainly there's the Trump data component of it.
Yeah.
But if we take that out of the equation, what's the additional cost for us to kind of operate at that level with that million voters?
Yeah, I'd have to look, and the reason why is it's different for every consolidated. It's possible. In short, that's possible, to do. But we'd have to figure out, where, what all municipals we're targeting, right? And then with that, I think it's going to vary a little bit depending on, how those folks vote in those different municipals. But my point is there's more variables, right? When you're talking about all these different types of elections versus, hey, just go vote, it's election day, all of these races are going to be on the ballot. But it's possible, it's doable, Jay, it's doable.
Last thing, is there still a place for print media, the mail? I see a lot of people coming away with it. What was the reasoning in terms of incorporating?
So some of that was just really trying to, in programs like this, where you're going after individuals that, again, are not as likely to vote, you try different methods, right, and mix it in. So the mail, and I should have said this, we timed when the mail was being sent, and then we would text, hey, you're going to get a mail piece that is talking, and we'd still get the message, and still give them the link. You can, go, click here to go vote. But we'd say, be on the lookout for your mailbox, or your mailbox, to try to strengthen that effect, right? Yeah, exactly. So, my belief is, I don't think we're in this era where mail is dead, but synergy helps a lot, and you can get a whole lot more bang for your buck when you're using these different components all as one part of one puzzle. They should not be separate in silos. So so we tried to make sure that the mail, and again, those were targets, state house, state senate, and then arguably the most competitive congressional in the state. We really were just trying to throw the kitchen sink, and apply another medium for people, to hopefully grab their attention. Matt.
So I was actually thinking that the mentor of wanting a mail component, there still is a lot of data out there that says if a person 60 or above gets a mail piece, that will actually motivate them to go. So our mail program is actually a lot more micro-targeted to a very specific audience compared to the rest of our digital and text, which is still a very targeted, specific audience, but our mail went to a very specific address.
Yeah. Yes.
So when I saw these slides someplace else,
Yeah.
because you can't see them very well
Yeah,
here,
I
even up
apologize.
here in the front. In reference to the mail piece, if I remember correctly, I saw where it said digital text mail was like 27.6%.
Yeah.
Versus the mail or versus the digital and the text alone was 26%.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a 1 point something. I'm
Yeah.
not sure the 6 is correct.
No,
so
it is correct, yeah.
When you take the money that you spent on mail, I understand exactly what you're saying, because I know my mom would not look at a text. But I also wonder if the dollars would pan out as far as the difference. You see what I'm saying?
No, I completely understand what you're saying, and I think that is something that if there's a program like this in the future, should be talked about, discussed, and assessed, because we did see that, and quite frankly, texting as each cycle passes, I know a lot of us in this room probably get a ton of political text, and a lot of that is because we're very politically active. We sign forms online, we donate to campaigns. Once you do that, your number is gone. And what I mean by that is it enters all this list sharing. Your number is gonna be in a lot of different places you don't realize. But a lot of voters, particularly disengaged voters that we're talking about with this program, they don't receive a lot of those texts. They don't sign up for stuff online. They don't donate to their local congressman or whatever, low dollar. So when they're receiving these texts, this is not in like a series of barrages of text. It's a long way of saying texting has become more and more effective as it's been more and more normalized, particularly for older generations as well. So when you're talking about efficiency, you can send essentially one text or 10 texts for all mail piece, right? So, again, that's something, but you also do need a way to, and like I said, there's benefit of synergy. you also need to wait, to where you get to the point where, I don't know, if sending 10 text messages, right, it's going to be effective. Then that does borderline harassment, right? So there is a balance, but I agree with you that that's something that, should be looked at, assessed, and potentially, change for a future program. Yes?
Thanks again.
Yeah,
You've said
absolutely.
3 times, and every time I'm impressed. So
Thank you.
I appreciate all the work. I'm going to piggyback on what Jeanne brought up. So in one of the slides, you had the county, the city of Chicago, like 200
Yep.
thousand. That's Trump only, or we don't know?
No, that's Trump only. So just in comparing, yeah, that's his margin, yes.
Yeah, so I also saw that Lake and DuPage were not on that list because they probably didn't
Well,
do well media market.
Here, sorry. And you know what, for the analysis, I will have a county by county. Now, I apologize, it's gonna be a lot of different words. Yeah, so it's hard to see here, but yeah, that's the media market. So like that, yeah, it's Lake, Cook, DuPage, McHenry, goes all the way down to Kankakee, and actually, LaSalle County is the north or south, west corner of that.
So,
Sorry.
to extend my question, is Chicago, they've always said, and I think we know, that strategically, Chicago needs the focus. So when we get to that analysis, where we go down further, I'm curious to see how many Democrats
Yeah.
came over.
Yep.
Because they are our friends now.
Yep. Yeah.
And figure out how to do that, number one. And then, how the heck do we move to Page and Lake? back
Yeah.
To where we were.
Yeah.
And
King.
that deep dive.
Yeah, all the big suburban counties. Yeah, absolutely. Will's a little.
Chicago's learning.
Yeah.
We have help with Johnson.
Yes.
And so we need to capitalize on that. And so I'm very curious to see that.
Yeah.
That extra data.
No, absolutely, and I'll try to separate some areas within the county as well, if that makes sense. Maybe by township, because that's probably gonna be the easiest. But like
Well,
I
that's
said,
the focus, you know.
yeah, it is. It was it was eye popping when looking at the data, and again, you overlay the more affluent in our income, household income, the difference, and looking at the map. Seeing that shift from 16 to 24, it's something that needs to be addressed, or something that should be a focus, because it could be a continued problem. It's not. So, absolutely. Any?
I got a question over here.
Yeah.
How does this all translate into defeating Pritzker?
So, how does it? That's a great question. Again, from the start of the slide. One thing that's encouraging is there are more Republicans that are voting by mail-in voting early, and that hopefully we see the evidence of that in this slide right here, in seeing the mail-in early vote over time. The hope is, and the party has all this data, but we continue to get more of those Republicans out. We activate more early vote, or more Republicans to vote early and vote by mail in an off-year election. Right now, they've proven they can do it during a presidential election. We all know that turnout is lower during midterm elections, and then hopefully activate more Republicans. So this is, it's part of a conditioning process in getting more Republicans to more actively vote, more unreliable Republicans, to actively vote. Yes.
How does this all translate into you interacting with our communications team to get our message out?
Sorry. Okay. Sorry, I gotta cut it short here, but I thank you all for your time and appreciate you to allow me to speak.